Okay, if you could press F7. So we can see as I'm moving the cue back and forwards, the line is going down and up, like a classic heartbeat monitor. So it's a cue action beat, if you like. The tip against the white ball shows that the blue line on the screen is next to the fixed horizontal line. And depending on how quickly and sharply, or how smoothly, or how short, or how long I move the cue, it shows us exactly what the cue is doing and at what tempo as well. A very important part of a professional's cueing repertoire. So, for example, if I come very micro cue actions, you can see how far the tip is from the cue ball, not only with the camera lens, but also on the screen. It gives you a lot of information in that regard. Nice slow backswing, pause at the back, smooth delivery. And there's the unit, by the way, on my wrist, that's measuring the action. If then we have a very sharp action, you can see how sharp that is and how out of control that looks. So the elements we're looking for in the cue action is tip, plenty of time against the white ball so that you can check where the tip is in relation to centre cue ball. Nice rhythmical actions, not too long because that can get quite quick and rushed, and a nice check at the front before gradually coming back without too much sharpness in the action, and gradual acceleration to keep these lines nice and smooth and graceful. So what we'll do now is would you like to have a go with this? There we are. So if you just go to the white ball here and just leave the tip up against the white, we'll set to 0 again. So we're just reconnecting it, setting it to 0. And if you move backwards and forwards 2 or 3 times, in your normal cue action, and play the shot when you're ready. So what we've got there is plenty of time up against the white ball, quite consistent rhythmical actions. Let's do the same again. Give that another go. Okay, what we've got there is quite a distance from the tip to the cue ball. Here, you see, that's about 10 millimetres, 15 mil, and here. So it means there's less chance to confirm where the tip is up against the white ball. Also, these are maybe quite long comparatively to your final backswing, which there's the delivery there, you see, going up through this is the cue ball line here.
Yeah.
That's your backswing, your pause at the back, and gradual acceleration. All this is happening rather quickly. So I think if these were perhaps a little shorter, and this was perhaps a little bit more lazily done, you might get a greater sense of control. So let's give that a go. Just one moment. Tip up against the white. Okay. Okay, so that's getting smoother. In fact, the tip was slightly in front of the white line when we set it to 0, so it's the set position slightly above the cue ball line. That's not a problem. The most important thing there is that's a bit more gradual at the back there and a bit more smooth and gracious as you go through. Yeah. So more repeatable, as we said at lunchtime.
Yeah.
Let's do another one of those. This time we'll set it to 0 again, so go up, tip against the white ball. Just one moment. Okay, and your back swings as normal. Okay, so that was probably too slow, because as you can see there are some pauses and hesitations as the cue is coming back, so that's a sign of being too careful.
Yeah.
So there's a balance between too sharp and too slow. In the middle, everyone's got their ideal tempo. So let's do another one of those, perhaps halfway in between the tempo on your last two backswings. So again, tip up against the white, we'll set to 0. Okay, away you go. So here we've got quite a quick, the backswing's getting quicker as you go back, which is a classic sign of hitting the shot with a backswing.
Oh, right, yeah.
So you can see there it gets quicker as you make the backswing instead of slowing down like a plain landing. And there's quite a sharp kink here. As soon as you reach the end of the backswing, it's almost like a dog with a leash.
Yeah.
So it's a case of very slowly back, draw to a halt, gradually speed up again. Okay. So again, tip against the white, very good, and far away. So that's getting smoother.
Yeah, that felt a lot better.
Yeah. So that's getting closer to what I would describe as your optimum profile. And look how smooth and gracious that is.
Yeah.
And it looked that way and it felt that way as well. But this gives a measurable, a visual graph, a visual heartbeat of your cue action, which I found, for myself, I find it very easy to then picture in my mind what's my ideal cue action.
Yeah.
If you've got a picture of it under pressure, I've found that it's easier for players to stick to it if they know the shape of their cue action, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good piece of kit.
So you can take that away. I'll output that as a JPEG for you, send it to you on email, and you can pin that on your wall and rehearse it daily.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers. Well done. Good job.